What's going on, guys? Today I'm back with another H.A.T format replay review for you guys. If you're interested in sending in your H.A.T format replays, you can go down to the video description and find all the information on how to go about sending those in. Anyways, the matchup I have for you today, we have Kodio, who is going to be on 3.5 Axis Fire Fist versus Jiang Imaka, sorry if I mispronounced your name, I'm just going to call them Gia, who is going to be on Laval Artifact. Hopefully this will be a good match, but the only way to know for sure is to check it out. So without further ado, let's get started. Here, it looks like Cody is going to win the rock, paper, scissors and get to start this one out. Opening hands, we see Bottomless, Breakthrough Skill, Tensu, Gyoku, and Instant Fusion. So a bit of a rough hand, honestly. They are definitely going to need something to make this hand viable. And on the other side, we see Breakthrough Skill, Lava Lakeside Lady, Soul Charge, Duality, and Moral Tack. Not the worst hand, definitely also a hand that kind of needs a bit of a starter card, but here Cody will get a draw for turn, getting a copy of Lance, so unfortunately not the card they need, and they are just going to go and set Bottomless and Breakthrough Skill and pass it over to Gia, who gets a copy of Molten Conduction Field, which is a great card, being able to go and activate that and send a copy of Cannoneer and Volcano Handmaiden. And this card says when this card is sent to the graveyard, if you have a lava monster in your graveyard other than Volcano Handmaiden, you can send one lava monster from your deck to the graveyard. So here I would assume, yep, they're going to activate it, sending another copy, which can then trigger again, sending another copy, and then that copy can send another card, sending a copy of Lava Lakeside Lady. This one's really cool as well. It says if this card is in the graveyard and you have 3 or more lava monsters with different names in your graveyard, you can banish this card and one other lava monster from your graveyard to target one set card your opponent controls, destroy that target. So from here, it looks like Gia's going to activate Duality, revealing Rekindling, Soul Charge, and Moral Tack. Here, taking the copy of Rekindling and putting the others back. It looks like they kind of misclick there, and here they go, and looks like they are just going to set the other copy of Lakeside Lady that they had in hand and set a couple back row before passing it over to Cody, who gets a copy of Warning, so really not seeing anything there. So they're just going to set the Warning, pass it over to Gia, who gets a copy of Moral Tack, and from here they are going to activate that copy of Lakeside Lady. It does include itself when it says, it says if this card's in your graveyard and you have 3 or more lava monsters with different names. So it's saying that because it's in the graveyard and they have itself, the Handmaiden and Cannoneer, so that is 3 different names, they're going to be able to banish it and pop a back row. And here they are hitting the copy of Bottomless. After that, it looks like we are going to see that Rekindling come down, but that is going to be met with the Solemn Warning. And just double checking, yeah, the Handmaidens and the Cannoneer all have 200 defense, so they would have been able to basically make a very big play there. Here, just setting the copy of Moral Tack and passing it over to Cody, who finally gets a starter card, and a very good one at that, getting a copy of Leopard. So here, let's see, they are going to activate the Gyoku and target the copy of Moral Tack there, and then from there it looks like Cody is going to normal summon the copy of Leopard and use the effect which says during your main phase, if this card was normal or special summon this turn, you can tribute 1 Fire Fist monster, set 1 Fire Formation spell or trap directly from your deck. And so from here they are probably going to get a Tenki or something, and they are going to go and set a copy of Tenki, activate the Tenki, and get a copy of Spirit. And they do already have the Tensu here, so activating Tensu and additional summoning the copy of Spirit, which they are going to activate there. And then here Gia is going to maybe thinking on that Breakthrough Skill, which would be a very good spot to use it, and they're actually going to allow it. And so Spirit's going to bring back that copy of Leopard from graveyard, and then here we are going to see Cody synchro into a copy of Horse Prince. Horse Prince having a really great effect as well that says when this card synchro summon, you can special summon 1 level 3 fire monster from your deck, and after you synchro summon this card, you cannot special summon level 5 or higher monsters for the rest of this turn. So here going, and Gia is going to go and use the breakthrough skill now. Honestly, it feels a little late there, and Cody does have the copy of Lance regardless, so making the Horse Prince unaffected and then summoning a copy of Rooster. And Rooster as well has a really great effect that says, when this card is special summoned by the effect of a Fire Fist monster, you can add a Fire Fist monster from your deck to your hand, and then you can only use this effect once per turn, and once per turn you can send a face-up Fire Formation spell or trap you control to the graveyard and set a Fire Formation spell or trap directly from your deck. A very strong card there, and so here adding a copy of Bear, and now just basically off of the one card, Cody is able to kind of have a solid board here going to battle phase, running into the Lakeside Lady with the copy of Rooster, and then attacking in with the Horse Prince. And after that, we are going to see the Rooster activate, getting rid of the copy of Tenki and setting another copy of Tenki before activating Instant Fusion, paying 1,000, and summoning that copy of Cherubin, and going for a copy of Lion Emperor, which is basically going to be able to add back the copy of Spirit. And after that, just adjusting the attack a little bit there, just passing turn from there. From here, Gia will get a draw for turn, getting a copy of Compulse. It's an alright card in this situation, but they really don't have a lot going for them. Maybe this Soul Charge, though, so they are going to go and activate Soul Charge, going for the Cannoneer and Lakeside Lady, which it looks like Cody is allowing, and then from there, we are going to see a Synchro Summon. Oh, that is a level 4, and the Lakeside Lady is a level 3 tuner, so going for that copy of Black Rose, and we do know that they have the copy of Breakthrough here, which is going to be activated here, and so Gia is just going to go and set that copy of Compulse before passing turn. Here, Cody gets a copy of Upstart Goblin, and the Tenki's going to be activated, getting another copy of Bear here. So let's see, activating Upstart, getting a copy of Soul Charge, and we are going to see the Spirit come down, going and bringing back that copy of Rooster. And Rooster, I believe, or well, actually, I think Spirit should negate the, or no, it doesn't negate the effects. Let me just double check. It's been a little while since I actually, well, I guess I just read this, but let me just see. Cannot be used as synchro material except for the synchro summon of a beast warrior type monster. When this card's normal summon, you can target one level 3 fire monster with 200 or less defense in your graveyard, special summon that target in defense, and if you do, monsters you control cannot attack for the rest of this turn except beast warrior type monsters. I don't know why I was thinking that it negated it there, but anyways, here going, and the Rooster is going to add a copy of Gorilla there, and then after that, synchro summoning for another copy of Horse Prince using the effect and grabbing another Leopard there. Then Leopard effect is going to set another copy of Goyoku, so they are definitely heavier on the Fire Formation cards. And so yeah, let me just double check something here. Okay, cool. So moving forward, it looks like the Goyoku is going to trigger, and this time locking down the new set, which is the Compulse. And keep in mind, Goyoku is going to make so they can't activate it in response, though at the same time, given that this was set, maybe if they were thinking they could have, in theory, like chain the Compulse before this could actually activate, it would lock down the Moral Attack, which again, they don't really care about at this moment. But here going and then using the Lion Emperor to add back the copy of Spirit here. And from there, let's see what they actually choose to do, because they do still have the additional summon with the Tensu, which they are going to use now, going and summoning the copy of Bear, using the effect, getting rid of the Tenki, and then from there, they can just kind of push in for game here, honestly, just adjusting the attack and everything, and that is definitely a very big board. So moving on into game number 2, we are going to see Gia get to start this one out. Opening hands for this game, we see Leopard, Breakthrough Skill, Gorilla, Spirit, and Lance. Must be nice, you know, seeing your Spirit in your opener, given it is a one of, as well as the copy of Leopard, so that's basically your full combo, though they are going to be going second this game, and you know, they do have Lance, which is pretty solid. And on the other side, we see the Dust Flame Blast, a very powerful card, the Lava Cannoneer, a Handmaiden, Maxi, and a Call of the Haunted, getting a draw for turn, getting a copy of Moral Attack, so really not seeing much of the artifact side of the deck in a useful manner here, but maybe this game will be different, especially with this hand command that they have here, but here summoning the copy of Cannoneer before setting 3 back row over to Cody, who gets a copy of Tenki, so a great draw there. Summoning that copy of Leopard, tributing it off, setting the copy of Tensu, activating Tensu, additional summoning the Spirit, and using the effect, but that is going to be met with the Max C, and so here the Leopard will be summoned out. Gia does get a draw, getting a copy of Sanctum, so a very great draw there, and then it looks like Cody is going to have to play into it a little bit, going and synchro summoning for that copy of Horse Prince. Gia gets a copy of Rekindling, another just great draw here. Activating the copy of Horse Prince, getting the copy of Rooster. Gia will draw a copy of Malcat. Okay, cool. And then after that, we are going to see the Rooster add a copy of Bear. And from here, just going to battle phase, the Horse Prince is going to run over the Cannoneer, attacking in with the copy of Rooster. Going main phase 2, activating the Tenki, grabbing a copy of Wolf Bark. And then here we are going to see the Rooster cycle through the Tenki for a copy of Goyoku, set 2 more back row and just pass. So not even activating this here or anything like that. There's no restriction in terms of them being able to activate it, but I guess just not wanting to take any risks or anything with who knows what this back row really is at the moment. So here it looks like passing turn, Gia drew a copy of Blaster. And let's see what they were doing. I guess they were just double checking. Here we are going to see the Blaster hand effect activated, discarding the Handmaiden and going and hitting that copy of Goyoku. From there, the Handmaiden is going to trigger. And let me just see something real quick. Oh, because they do have another Laval monster in their graveyard, they're going to be able to go and send a Laval. So from here, we are going to see all the Handmaidens go to grave and the copy of Lakeside Lady. After that setting, more back row and just passing here. So a little interesting there as well, not going for the Rekindling or anything like that. They definitely have a lot of things. Maybe they're thinking to go and actually use the Malevolent Catastrophe first or something, because they can always chain the Sanctum. The Dust Flame Blast would banish everything though, so maybe trying to take advantage of that would have been a decent play. I don't think that Cody really knew anything else of this back row that would have mattered. So, kind of an interesting play there. But here we see Cody just going to battle phase, and we are going to see that Malcat activated, chaining the copy of Sanctum, summoning a copy of Moral Tack, and here it looks like Lance is being chained. Is Lance being chained on, let's see what they target here. Or maybe they weren't. Oh, okay. So they were just chaining to the whole thing here. So technically this should not have been summoned yet. I'm guessing they went Chainlink 1 and Chainlink 2, and then Lance is Chainlink 3 on the copy of Horse Prince here, or maybe even not. I think maybe they're just targeting. So maybe they weren't activating that actually. They were just kind of showing it. I'm not entirely sure. They kind of flipped it that way. Maybe. Yeah, anyways, here we are going to see the Moral Tack popping the Horse Prince, and the other Moral Tack is summoned. Technically, yeah, they did kind of go out of chain there with how this would resolve and everything. But anyways, the point is it's going to basically just clear everything, going main phase 2, and then from here just setting the copy of Gorilla and setting the Warning back over to Gia, who gets a copy of Breakthrough Skill. They're going to use the Lakeside Lady, banishing it, and the Handmaiden to pop that copy of Warning, go for a Rekindling play, which is very strong here, bringing the Cannoneer and 2 copies of Handmaiden. Then from there, they are going to take a second to think, synchro summoning for a copy of Laval Dragon. This says you can shuffle 2 Laval monsters from your graveyard into your main deck, target 1 card your opponent controls, and return it to hand. So here it looks like, oh, then they are just going to synchro after that with the Handmaiden and the copy of Dragon for a copy of H.T.S. Psyhemoth. This card basically is like a big DD Warrior Lady, and then from there they are going to banish 2 for the copy of Blaster, go battle phase, attack in with the Moral Tack over the copy of Gorilla, attack in with the Psyhemoth, the copy of Moral Tack, and the copy of Blaster. And after that, just set the Breakthrough Skill, overlay for a copy of Pleiades, and back over to Cody, who unfortunately gets a copy of Soul Charge, which isn't great here. They do have the Wolf Bark, but we do know that that is going to be met with that breakthrough skill. So moving on into a game number 3, Cody will get to start this one out. Opening hands, we see Max C, Bottomless, Torrential, DD Crow, and Warning. So a very strong hand, just not a lot of engine though. And on the other side, we see the Cannoneer, Rekindling, Veiler, Handmaiden, and Conduction Field. Crazy that Gia keeps seeing this copy of Rekindling as it is at 1 in this format. And here Cody will get a draw for turn, getting a copy of Soul Charge, so we're probably just going to see a bunch of sets here, which we are, and over to Gia, who gets a copy of Handmaiden. So it's actually kind of unfortunate that they are seeing these, because as we have seen in the previous games, they want to be able to just send all of them to graveyard. Here we are going to see the Conduction Field activated, sending the copy of Lakeside Lady and the Handmaiden. Handmaiden can then send something, sending a copy of Lakeside Lady, and Cody is going to think here, and maybe they were thinking the Crow, but here they're actually going to Crow the Handmaiden here. Are they thinking maybe, well, yeah, Gia would have the opportunity to go and activate it, but I guess here they were just doing that after everything, and then here they are going to summon the Cannoneer, which is going to be met with Bottomless, and here they're just going to pass. So again, there's not really a good reason, given these are tuners and the Handmaiden is a tuner, so no real reason to go for a Rekindling play there, though maybe if they had like a rank 3 or something, but maybe they just want to play it slow, which definitely is understandable. Here Cody draws a copy of Rivalry, which they're going to set back over to Gia, who gets a copy of Ignition. Here they're going to set the Handmaiden and a copy of Ignition. Before passing turn, here Cody gets a copy of Fiendish, which they're going to set and back over to Gia, who gets a Duality, activating Duality, revealing Ignition, Breakthrough Skill, and Moral Tact. And here it looks like they are taking the other copy of Ignition, trying to just clear some of this back row, setting the copy of Handmaiden, setting the Ignition back over to Cody, who now gets a copy of Bear, which is solid, summoning the Bear and going to battle phase, running over the Handmaiden there. And here they are going to think, going main phase 2 and back over to Gia, who now gets a copy of Scythe. So Scythe with the Ignitions will be at least solid there. Cody draws for turn, gets a copy of Leopard, summons the Leopard, uses the effect, tributing it off, and setting a copy of Tenki there. And from there, it looks like they are going to activate the Tenki, getting a copy of Wolfbark. And at this point, they are going to use the Bear, getting rid of the Tenki to pop the set. And that is going to be met with a Veiler. And from here, Cody is just going to run over the Handmaiden, back over to Gia, who gets a copy of Malcat. And from this point, they are going to activate the Ignition, popping the copy of Warning. So actually a very good hit for them there, setting the copy of Moral Tact. And then, let's see, activating the other Ignition, popping the Torrential, also a really good hit. Wow, those were probably two of the better ones, though I guess maybe the Rivalry would have been solid too, setting another Moral Tact there. And now this Malcat is going to be insane, because it will be able to go and get double Moral Tact and a Scythe back. So let's see, here Cody gets a copy of Tenki. They are going to activate it, getting a copy of Leopard. From here, they are going to normal summon the Leopard, use its effect, tributing it off, and getting that copy of Tensu, which they are going to maybe not activate. They are going to activate it, and then just go to battle phase. And here that Malcat is going to, blow all the back row out. Very crazy card there. And here it looks like they're actually going to chain the Max C to the Malcat. And it looks like, did they just draw 2 off of that? Oh, because, okay. So going and summoning 2 and then the 3. So they actually are going to get 3 draws. Yep. So getting the Upstart, Leopard, and copy of Rivalry, because all of these summon, 1 by 1 basically. And from there, it looks like they're going to take some time to think. Oh, I guess they were even thinking about how that works and stuff, and then went Upstart. Anyways, here it looks like, did they just set one and pass? I'm not entirely sure. It's moving a little quick, but anyways, Gia drew a copy of Cannon there. And let's see here. It looks like the Cannon is going to be activated, using the effect to try to bring back this copy of Cannoneer, but we are going to see the Rivalry activated, and it looks like, yep, they're just going to send the Cannoneer, so keeping the fairies on board here. And then from there, they are just going to battle phase and attacking in with everything. And let's see what happens. Main phase 2 activating the copy of Lakeside Lady, banishing it and a Handmaiden to pop the other set here, which is going to work. And then, yep, here it looks like they're just really trying to figure out the rivalry. I think maybe Gia was just a little unfamiliar with some of the cards in this format, given, you know, they were a little confused about how the artifacts work and chain and stuff and the rivalry here. So maybe they just haven't gone against some of these cards though, but at the same time, I feel like the artifact stuff is pretty self-explanatory in some cases. But anyways, over to Cody, who got, I believe that was another upstart there, activating it, getting a copy of Breakthrough Skill, summoning the copy of Wolfbark, bringing back the copy of Bear, overlaying into a copy of Tiger King, using the effect, which is going to set a copy of Tenki, and then activating Tenki to get a copy of Spirit. And after that, just going to battle phase and running over the copy of Scythe, going main phase 2, setting the Breakthrough Skill, and over to Gia, who now gets a copy of Blaster, but unfortunately they can't summon it here, switching the artifacts to defense. And I'm kind of wondering now, maybe do they not have, was it Tiras? Tiras is a fairy, if I'm not mistaken, and that would kind of work in this situation very, very well. It's possible they don't play it because this is a Laval variant, though a lot of the decks that do play the artifacts and stuff as a small package usually will play more so Pleiades and stuff like that. But yeah, a little interesting, I guess, in the sense that would have been a very good card in this exact situation. But here we are going to see Cody go and summon the copy of Spirit, bring back the copy of Leopard, synchro into a copy of Horse Prince effect, getting out a copy of Rooster triggering to get a copy of Bear, and then using the Rooster, getting rid of the copy of Tenki to get Tensu activated, summoning the copy of Bear as the additional summon, going to battle phase. And here we are just going to see a little bit of cleanup there, and then swinging in for some nice damage. The Bear's going to trigger, setting a copy of Tenkin. This is a really cool card too. It's kind of like the Fire Formation version of a Lance in a sense, or almost like a Felgrand type effect, which basically says activate only during main phase 1. When this card's activated, target a beast warrior type monster you control. During this phase, its effects are negated. Also, it's unaffected by the effects of cards other than this card, and it applies even if it leaves the field. And then all beast warrior type monsters gain 300 attack. And so from here, we are going to see the Tiger King still attacking and passing over to Gia, who gets a copy of Call of the Haunted and setting one. They're just in kind of a losing position. Cody draws a copy of DD Crow, goes battle phase. We are going to see the Call of the Haunted, bringing back that copy of Moral Attack, but that is going to be met with the Crow, and Cody is going to take that one. So kind of a rough little game 3, but a very impressive showing, obviously, from the Fire Fist deck, and I definitely would have liked to see a little bit more here from the Laval deck. The Malcat seemed like they were really just trying to pull this off as often as possible, rather than other things like, I don't know, I feel like there definitely could have been some other plays there, but regardless, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like on it, comment any questions or videos you want to see in the future, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell to get notified anytime I put a new video out, share this video with your friends, and don't forget to go down to the video description to find out how you can send in your hat format replays, whether you won or lost. If you thought the deck you or your opponent was playing was pretty cool, feel free to send that in. I'm sure a lot of people would love to see it. But anyways, guys, I will see you in the next video.